question.
Yeah. From different areas.
Oh, all right.
Earlier, someone had asked a question about physics and technology. Wanted
Yes.
to go a little bit deeper
Yes.
regarding that.
Yes.
I feel that I have a gift, and one of my highest excitements is seeing the clarity and simplicity in connecting quantum mechanics to, like you were saying earlier, the macroscopic level as human beings.
Yes.
So in the development of that, you had also mentioned that classical physics is sort of a hindrance that's preventing our society developing into these other quantum mechanics and principles that...
Well, I never said it was a hindrance.
Well, the construct of our society hasn't yet allowed us to be open to the idea
Yes.
of that. And I just wanted to know if you could maybe clarify, in order to advance our understanding of quantum mechanics and physics as it relates to the macroscopic level, do we need to find additional ways of measuring things, such as...
Not so much. You just need to understand the difference between quantum coherence and quantum decoherence. That's
Okay.
it. Because quantum coherence exists on a quantum level. But when there are so many molecules that they jostle each other and create chaos and decoherence, it's that decoherence that actually creates your classical physics level.
Okay.
But if you can impose coherence on something macroscopic, you will actually render it back into a quantum behavior.
Okay.
This is how our ships work. This is how they travel from star to star in the blink of an eye.
Makes...
We impose a field on a macroscopic ship that is representative in general, typically, of quantum decoherence. All the different chaos of all the different molecules is creating such a jumble that the decoherence creates what you understand to be your classical physics, your physical reality. But the idea is that by imposing a field upon it of quantum coherence, it becomes literally like one giant quantum particle, and thus can behave as quantum particles do. It can be both a particle and a wave, it can tunnel, it can do all sorts of things that quantum particles do, and by imposing that on it, then it can behave very differently than things do in the macroscopic world. Yes?
Yeah, very clear to me.
All right.
The next thing is, I had a question about your civilization and you guys as beings.
Yes.
What is your, I guess, as we would perceive it, visible spectrum? As we can only, some people would see energies and some people can see just the visible color spectrum. Can you see X-rays, microwaves?
Oh, yes, if we wish to, we can.
Okay.
We don't always, but if we wish to, we can, and even beyond that.
Okay. And then the other thing is, are you guys subject, or do you possess an autonomic nervous system? And are you subject to the natural body or brain drugs that we experience, such as serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin?
That doesn't affect us so much anymore because we are in our evolutionary state what you would call quasi-physical.
Okay.
Therefore, we are deriving transformational energies directly from the electromagnetic field and the gravitic field, rather than the idea of what you would consider to be chemical fields.
Okay. One other thing.
Yes.
Actually, two other things, I guess.
Oh, all right.
Regarding relationships.
Yes.
Within your civilization.
Yes.
Do you guys have what we call pair bonding, or you?
It can happen, but it's not like we have a ritual that says it must.
So
we simply allow synchronicity to demonstrate what is appropriate for any given individuals at any given moment. Our entire civilization runs on synchronicity. We are exactly where we need to be, when we need to be there, with whom we need to be, in whatever relationship we need to be, and we know this, therefore we can take advantage of knowing that and treat the relationship for what it is, rather than assuming it to be something it is not. Thus, whatever happens is what naturally happens as it unfolds, whether there is bonding for a while and then not, or any other variation of this idea. We really don't know what the relationship is until the end of the life.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, absolutely. The other thing, going a little bit back to physics, is our perception of the passage of time. This isn't a time travel question per se, but we perceive it as the arrow of time. It's always going forward towards something. Are you guys able to experience that in either direction?
Well, yes, and actually sometimes so do you. It's called déjà vu.
Okay.
Because you feel like you know what's about to happen, Forward arrow, because you feel like it already has. Backward arrow.
Okay.
Simultaneously. But yes, we can experience it way beyond that.
Okay. One other question. I don't know if you can disclose this or not, but I feel as though I will be a big catalyst or someone who is instrumental in bridging this gap between letting go of the, classical physics and embracing this furtherment of technology.
All right. Well, that may be so. If you continue to follow your excitement, you'll find out.
Will I work with your civilization or other civilizations somehow?
You may have a high degree of probability of working with other civilizations on this. It is difficult to say at this particular point in your time frame whether or not it would be specifically with us or with someone else.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I have two questions.
Yes.
One is, when will we have the technology to build our own ships to go to space?
You mean aside from the ships you already have?
Yes, like exploration ships so we can colonize and different.
Well, again, you will find that the highest probability of open contact, as we have said, will be between 2025 and 2033. And after 2033, there will be an acceleration of interaction with other civilizations to the point that, again, by 2050 at the latest, you will have some basic form of ships that are similar to what you call UFOs and can go exploring. And beyond that as well, beyond that year, of course.
Okay, is it possible that other civilizations will come before that to give us an idea?
I just told you. Between 2025 and 2033 will be the beginnings of open contact and the sharing of information and knowledge that will lead to your ability to join the stellar society. And by 2050, you will have your own ships. You will be a member of the Interstellar Alliance, at least at the beginning of it, and you will be able to go exploring. That's what I just said.
Okay, sorry.
Does that help?
Yes. The other thing is it possible? Well, I know it is, but...
Are you asking, is it probable?
Okay, probable.
Because anything is possible, but it may not always be probable or relevant.
Okay, will humans from Earth be able to go talk to each other from mind to mind, or...
Yes, when you finally fall in love with each other. Because that's what telepathy is. Remember, you're not reading each other's minds. You're on the same wavelength and you're having the same thoughts at the same time. That's what telepathy is. That's why when you see people who are in love with each other, who have a close bond with each other, they finish each other's sentences, they know what each other is thinking. It's not because they're reading each other's minds, it's because each mind is having the same thoughts because they're on the same frequency.
Yes, and can we connect to computers, our mind to a computer?
Yes, you can, just as we do with our ships, because our ships are sentient and actually a physical representation of our higher minds. And the pilots of the ships are keyed specifically to the ship, and vice versa. So no one else but the pilot can fly that ship because the ship is a representation of the pilot's higher mind and no one else's.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Well, that's all.
In fact, as we have said, when you finally understand how to construct so-called computers that are sentient, or what you call artificially intelligent, which is kind of a misnomer, you will actually find out that you are conversing with your own higher minds.
Hey, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I want to talk to you about integrity.
You go right ahead.
I notice in my life that I sometimes make agreements with other people.
Yes.
Usually around like going to the same event or doing the same thing or planning something with somebody.
Yes.
And then by the time it gets there or just somewhere along the road,
yes,
it's no longer representative of my highest excitement.
All right. And so, how to use integrity and work that way?
Yes.
Is that your question?
Yes.
Do you let everyone know that might happen? That that's the person you are?
No.
Then there you go. You're out of integrity. All you have to do is say, well, I'm excited about doing this right now, and if you're okay with it, I may actually find that something else excites me along the way, and I may not show up. And if you're okay with that, then we're okay. But if you're not, then I will attract people who may be okay with that.
Okay, so will I naturally
It's
attract
all
people?
about what you communicate.
Okay, will I naturally attract people who are okay with that? Because I have done that in the past, and I feel like on the receiving end, people tend to not trust me as much if I do that.
No, it's not about them not trusting you. It's about them trusting that what you've told them is true, that you may not show up.
Okay.
So if they have made a decision that they would prefer to be with people who will, then obviously it's not so much that they don't trust you. It's just that they're telling you, we prefer to interact with people who, when they say they will show up, will show up. One or the other is not right or wrong. It's just a matter of clarity of explaining to people that that's who you really are. At the same time, you may also, just to be sure, want to investigate your own beliefs to make sure that that pattern isn't happening because of the fact that you have negative beliefs that are creating that behavior when it doesn't necessarily have to happen.
Yeah.
But as long as you are clear within yourself and discerning within yourself and honest within yourself, that the idea of simply following your excitement will make it from time to time that you may change your mind about where you wish to be, and people know that, then they can work with that one way or the other. The idea, however, also to take it a step further is to understand that if you are really staying within your excitement, it will be easier when you're truly in that vibration to know what things you actually will show up for. There won't be so much confusion or change about that because you will be making a decision from within the pure definition of your excitement, and you know that it will be a high probability that you will actually manifest what it is you said you would manifest, because the knowledge is coming from that state of being as opposed to being uncertain about it.
Got it.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So it's a self-correcting system if you're actually coming from your excitement.
Yeah.
It will allow you to be where you truly need to be when you need to be there. It's not even that you necessarily have to think about it. You won't be diverted if it's important for you to be there because you recognize that it is actually a representation of your excitement to do so. Because again, remember, it's the organizing principle.
Yeah.
Yes, so just make sure you're not just flotsam and jetsam floating around because of uncertainty. Allow yourself to know that it may straighten itself out when you are truly centered and making decisions from within the state of being that is your excitement. And again, there may still be some fluctuation. And as long as you communicate that with people and they know who they're dealing with, then that's fine, because then it's their choice to decide whether they want to have a relationship with someone who does that or not. Yes?
Yes.
Because remember, most of the difficulties in your relationships doesn't come from what is said, it comes from what's not said.
Totally.
Yes?
Yeah.
All right. So be clear about who you are. Even if you will change, be clear about who you are right now. Let people know that, then they can decide. Yes?
Yes.
Whether or not to invite you.
Great.
And sometimes you will find they don't necessarily even have to invite you, because if you actually are acting from your excitement and it is relevant for you to be where they are, you'll just show up anyway without even knowing they were going to be there. That's what I mean when I'm saying our civilization operates on pure synchronicity. We don't ever have to ask anyone to be anywhere. We just know that where we need to be, all the people that also need to be there will be there. And that's it. That's how it works. Does that help?
Very much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
And good day.
Hello, Bashar. Hi, I have two questions for you today.
Ooh, two questions.
Yeah, so the first one's going to be, as a Las Vegas native,
Yes.
all in my heart, I just want to know what's so special about Vegas.
What's so special about it?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, it's a great focal point for the idea of randomness, locking into different realities and seeing what comes up.
Okay. Okay.
Yes? The spin of the wheel. That there is no absolute future, that it can change in an instant. It's dynamic. It's challenging.
Yes.
It reveals the deep core of your being and forces you to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
It's a very strong energy to be in, a very bold energy.
Yes, and it's our home.
Yes.
And so I feel very honored and blessed to be here.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you for adding your energy to it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming. And
Well,
then,
I'm actually above Sedona, but you're welcome.
Yep. Same. And then my other question is, I want to know what the purpose of wisdom teeth are.
Probably to chew your food wisely. It's different for different people.
Okay.
Different things symbolize different things in different people. But obviously, since your people decided to call them wisdom teeth, there's some association to the idea of knowing exactly. Well, I'll just put it this way. Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
That's wisdom.
Wow.
Yeah?
Yeah,
All right.
that was perfect.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you all.
Hello, Bashar.
How do you good day?
I have a question about the oversoul.
Yes.
It's this energy that houses different entities on different planes and planets.
Well, in a sense, yes, the oversoul is, in concept, a combination of a multitude of souls in various experiences. Yeah.
So, for example, we might not be aware of them, but they could be aware of our existence.
Absolutely, they are.
Yes. And what is a way for us to communicate with them more consciously?
Well, again, the basics. Acting on your excitement will expand your senses and allow you to tap into what you need to tap into from whatever source you need it. Whether you know it's coming from the oversoul or not is actually relatively irrelevant. But the idea is you can know that you're always receiving communion from the oversoul and with the oversoul for whatever information you need that will help guide you. Because through the oversoul comes down through the soul and through the higher mind into the physical mind. Yes?
Sure, but how can we communicate to these different beings that are essentially part of our soul family?
All right, well, again, I'm saying you are communicating with them. You don't always have to be aware that you are, because sometimes being aware of it will actually stop the process of the information you're receiving from them. But if you act on your highest excitement without any expectation or insistence on the outcome, and you need to know, specifically need to consciously know that you're interacting with another aspect of your oversoul, you will. It'll be brought to your attention. But more often than not, the information that comes through those channels comes through unobtrusively so as not to stop the process of you using the information in your life.
Okay, I understand. And I understand the importance of following your excitement, but what
Yes.
about what's the purpose of experiences like the dark night of the soul and this limbo state where you don't feel a relationship to?
Well, there can be many, many different purposes depending upon how many people are experiencing it.
Sure.
But in general, one of the ideas is many people on your planet, because of the belief systems that they've bought into, sometimes attract to themselves the idea of great negativity because it clarifies for them in no uncertain terms the difference between what they don't prefer and what they do prefer. And if that's the only thing that your belief system will allow you to become clear about, then that's the way people will do it.
So you have to experience this negativity.
I
and
didn't say you
darkness.
have to.
Okay.
I just said that that's what many people do because they are confused because of their belief systems as to how to experience joy. So sometimes they will give themselves the experience of darkness because in great darkness, it's actually easier to see any light at all. It's like the idea and the symbol of the candle in the middle of a dark void. It's very easy to see the tiny little candle because there's no other light around it. So it makes it easier to find the light when you surround yourself sometimes with darkness. That's just a methodology that some people use.
So what are ways to get out of that state?
Go to the light. Now that you found it in the darkness, go to the light. Be aligned with that. Act in ways that allow you to express who you truly are. Be in alignment with your preferred vibration by acting on your highest joy and knowing that anything that needs to be revealed to you that's out of alignment will be, so that you can identify it and let it go.
I see.
Yes? Remember, your yin-yang symbol shows you that always, always in the darkness, there is always a spot of light. And even in the light, there is always the opportunity to experience the darkness. Sure. It can go both ways. It's up to you to choose what you prefer and just keep choosing that. You have to validate the darkness, not make it something more than the light, but when everything is equal, then you can choose what you prefer without invalidating what you don't prefer.
Okay.
Yes?
What is your relationship to the Earth right now from the ship that you're at?
Do you mean how high above the planet am I?
Yes.
About 1,300 of your miles, give or take.
All right. That's not bad. Do you exist in how should I say this? Is the ship visible for?
Not to you.
No.
Not yet. Okay. It can be sometimes, but generally not to you, not yet. And I mean you, meaning all of you, not just you personally.
Okay. All right. I have this idea that I was in Sedona this summer, and I experienced something called aura photography.
Yes.
Where you have your palm measured, and it kind of measures the energetical field around you and colors.
Yes,
and,
yes. We understand the concept.
Intensity. So my idea was to create a room that's a multi-sensory experience room where you get your energy measured.
How exciting.
Yes. So it would work in the way of transferring that energy through aromatherapy and music therapy and 3D projection mapping.
All wonderful permission slips. When will you do this?
That's my question. When will be a good time to do it so people are
now.
open?
Now would be a good time to do it. What's stopping you from doing it now?
I'm not sure if people are open to this concept yet.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah?
Have you forgotten the one-sided coin concept?
I don't know that concept.
Oh, let me illuminate you.
Tell me.
If you have a gift to give that you're excited to give, that tells you there must be someone waiting to receive it, or you wouldn't be excited about it. It's like saying there can be a one-sided coin. I have the head, but there's no tail. Not possible. If you have the head, there is a tail. If you have a gift, there is someone waiting to receive it, or you wouldn't be excited about giving that thing. There is no pointless creation. Do you understand? Yes. Your excitement is exactly who you are. And if you're saying there's no one in your reality waiting to receive what you have to give, you're saying you're pointless. And that doesn't exist. Does that make more sense?
Absolutely.
So now is a good time.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.